The last person to stay in this motel room vanished without a trace. "We'll be fine," my boyfriend laughed as we checked in. That night, I woke up to the sound of heavy breathing. I reached for my boyfriend, but he wasn't in bed. The bathroom light flickered on, and the shower curtain slowly started to move. So, this happened last October, just before everything fell apart. Derek and I had been together almost 2 years. We weren't perfect, but I thought we were solid. He had this wild side, always wanted to go off the map, see weird places, eat at diners no one talks about. I was more cautious, but I liked the way he made life feel less boring. We decided to take a road trip through Colorado. No big plan, just see the mountains, hike a little, disconnect. It was supposed to be one of those bonding trips couples take before things get serious. Or fall apart. We'd been driving all day. Started in Kansas, crossed into Colorado by late evening. We didn't book anything ahead, just figured we'd find a motel when we got tired. I wish we hadn't. It was past 10 p.m. when we saw the sign, Sleepy Pine Motel. Just outside a town called Trinidad. One of those roadside places that looks like it hasn't had a good day since the 80s. Only one car in the lot. The sign was half-lit, buzzing. Paint peeling off the wooden siding. But Derek, of course, grinned and said, "Perfect." Cheap and creepy. I didn't like the vibe. The air felt thick, like something was wrong. But we were both exhausted, and my back hurt from sitting so long. So I didn't argue. We went in. The lobby was dim. Old cigarette smell stuck to the walls. The guy at the front desk looked like he'd been there forever. Thin, gray hair, skin like paper. He barely looked up when we came in. Just slid the check-in form across and asked for Derek's license. Derek joked, "Hey, what's the worst that could happen?" The clerk didn't smile. Just said, flatly, "Last couple in that room never checked out." Then went back to his paperwork. I laughed, awkwardly. Derek just grinned. Creepy old guy humor, he whispered. "Let's get some sleep." Room 6 was at the far end, right next to the woods. When I opened the door, I paused. It was freezing inside. Colder than it should have been for October. I checked the thermostat, it was off. The air smelled damp. Not mold, exactly. More like wet earth. The room was basic. One queen bed, faded green carpet, thin floral comforter. The bathroom door was half closed. Mirror had a long crack down the center. The shower curtain was drawn shut, which I hated. I always open it, something about not seeing behind it freaks me out. Derek threw his bag on the bed and flopped down. "Classic roadside horror vibes," he said. "Love it." I didn't. I was already uneasy, but I didn't want to ruin the night. So I showered, tried to ignore the strange creaks and the weird cold. The water pressure was awful, but at least it was hot. We watched some random cable show and fell asleep around midnight. That's when things started to go wrong. Around 3:12 a.m., I woke up suddenly. I didn't know why at first, no sound, no light. Just this feeling like I wasn't alone. I reached for Derek. His side of the bed was cold. I sat up, confused. The room was dark except for the bathroom light, which had somehow flicked on. It wasn't on before. I stared at the crack under the door. The light was flickering, like a dying bulb. Then I heard it. Breathing. Heavy. Deep. Not like someone snoring. It sounded strained. Like someone was trying to stay quiet but couldn't. "Derek?" I called out. No answer. I got out of bed. The carpet was damp. I didn't even notice it earlier. Each step squished softly under my feet. I moved toward the bathroom. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I'd pass out. The breathing got louder. I reached out and pushed the bathroom door open all the way. The shower curtain was closed. Then it moved. Just a little. A slow, tugging shift, like someone adjusting their weight behind it. I whispered, "Derek," again, my voice shaking. The curtain moved again, this time, more definite. Like someone was there. And that's when I noticed something else. There were wet footprints on the tile. Bare feet. Leading from the shower to the center of the bathroom, and back again. But there was no sound of the shower. No water. Just breathing. And the curtain started to move again. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. I just stood there, staring at that damn curtain. I don't know how long I stood like that, seconds. A full minute? Then, in one quick motion, I yanked it open. Nothing. Just a wet tub. No Derek. No one hiding. But the footprints were still there. Still fresh. The light kept flickering, and the breathing, it stopped the second I touched the curtain. I stepped back into the room, my hands shaking. "Derek, if you're messing with me, this isn't funny." Still nothing. I checked the parking lot through the blinds. Our car was there. No one else outside. The only other light was from the flickering office sign across the lot. I tried calling his phone. No signal. Not a single bar. I thought about going to the front desk, but something told me not to. I didn't trust that old man. The way he looked at us. The way he said it, "Last couple never checked out." It sounded like a joke. But it didn't feel like one anymore. I sat on the edge of the bed and tried to think. Maybe Derek went outside for air. Maybe he needed to pee and took a walk. He did weird stuff like that sometimes. But he would have brought his phone. His shoes were still there. I turned back to the bathroom. The mirror had fogged up. The room was freezing, but that mirror was fogged like someone just took a long, hot shower. I walked over and wiped the glass with my hand. There was something written in the fog. 4 words. "He's still in here." I stumbled back. My breath caught in my throat. Then I heard it again. The breathing. But this time, it wasn't in the bathroom. It was behind me. Right behind me. I spun around and saw nothing. But the bed covers had shifted. The pillow Derek had been sleeping on was on the floor. And something else, his phone was now on the nightstand. It hadn't been there before. I was sure of it. I picked it up. The screen was wet. There was one open photo on it. A selfie. Of me. Asleep. Taken just minutes before. And behind me, in the corner of the photo, barely visible, was a shape. Tall. Gray. Almost blending into the shadows behind the bathroom door. I screamed and dropped the phone. Ran outside barefoot. Cold pavement burned my feet, but I didn't care. I sprinted to the office and banged on the door. The old man opened it like he'd been waiting. "Room 6, I gasped. "My boyfriend's missing. There's something in there." He didn't blink. Didn't look surprised. Just nodded slowly and said, "You should have picked room 4. "What the hell does that mean?" I yelled. He didn't answer. Just stared at me. Like I was next. I turned and ran back to the room. I had to get my stuff, get out of there, call someone. Anyone. But when I got to the door, it was locked. From the inside. I pounded on it. "Derek. Open the door." No answer. Then. I heard the shower turn on. Slow. Steady. Like nothing was wrong. Like someone was enjoying it. I stepped back and realized, this wasn't just some creepy old motel. This place wanted him. And maybe it wanted me too. I don't know what made me do it, but I ran around the back of the building. Room 6 had a small window that faced the woods. I hoped I could see something, anything, to explain what the hell was happening. The curtain was drawn, but I saw movement. A shadow moved across the room. Not pacing. Not panicked. Just, slow. Almost like it was floating. I banged on the glass. Derek. If that's you, I swear to God. Say something. Nothing. Then the shadow stopped moving. And looked at me. I don't know how I knew. It had no face, no eyes. But I felt it watching me. Cold started creeping up my spine, like ice under my skin. Then the light inside the room went black. Gone. Just like that. I backed away, heart racing. Ran back around to the front, but before I could even reach the door, it opened. On its own. Just a slow, heavy creak. Like it was inviting me back in. Everything in me screamed to leave. To drive off barefoot if I had to. But I couldn't. Not without knowing if Derek was still alive. I stepped in. The room was empty. Bone dry. Not cold anymore. Just still. The bed was neatly made. The bathroom mirror? No crack. No fog. Nothing written on it. Like no one had ever been there. Even our bags were gone. Like we never checked in. I stood in the middle of the room, spinning in place, trying to catch my breath. I kept thinking, maybe I had a breakdown. Maybe I imagined it all. Maybe Derek was outside laughing, waiting to jump out and yell, "Gotcha." But then I noticed something. In the corner, near the AC unit, there was a small panel in the floor. A square outline barely visible under the carpet. I don't know why I did it, but I pulled the carpet back. There was a hatch. No handle. Just a shallow groove, enough to get your fingers in. I hesitated. Then opened it. It was dark. And deep. I couldn't see the bottom. But I could hear something. Breathing. Wet, guttural, and close. Then I heard a voice. Faint. But definitely Derek's. Help. I froze. It wasn't coming from the hatch. It was behind me. I turned fast, and there he was. Standing in the bathroom doorway. Soaking wet. Face pale. Lips purple. Like he'd been pulled out of a lake. He looked at me with wide, empty eyes and said, "Why did you leave me?" And then the lights cut out again. I screamed. I didn't even realize it was me at first. It didn't sound human. Just this raw, ragged sound ripped from my throat. Derek, if it even was Derek, stood there, dripping, unmoving, those lifeless eyes boring into mine. I stepped back, hit the bed frame. My knees gave out. He didn't blink. Didn't speak again. Just watched. And then, he smiled. It wasn't right. Not Derek's smile. This one was slow, twisted, and full of something wrong. Like whatever was inside him wasn't human anymore. Maybe it never was. I waited, he said, voice like gravel scraping underwater. You left me. I didn't, I choked, crawling backward. I didn't know. I tried to find you. You didn't look hard enough. He started walking toward me. Water pooled with every step he took, as if he was leaking the lake that swallowed him. The air turned cold again, sharp, biting. I couldn't move. My whole body screamed to run, but it was like I was sinking into the floor. You laughed, he whispered. You doubted me. You ignored the signs. No, I sobbed. I was scared. So was I. That's when the lights flickered one more time, and I saw them. Behind Derek. In the bathroom mirror. Others. Faces. Dozens. Twisted in agony. Pressed against the glass, silent screams frozen in steam and shadow. Some were missing eyes. Others looked like they were screaming. And I realized, every person who disappeared from this place, they were still here. Trapped. And Derek? He was just the newest one. But not the last. He stopped at the edge of the bed. Bent low. "You could have saved me," he whispered. But now, his hand reached out. Ice cold. Wet. He touched my cheek. "You're staying too." Everything went black. When I woke up, it wasn't the room I remembered. The bed was gone. The furniture, gone. The carpet was damp dirt. The walls were rotted wood. I was underground. I could hear breathing. All around me. And whispering. Voices. Some I didn't know. But one was mine. Begging. Pleading. Saying the words I swore I never would. "Don't leave me." They found the Sleepy Pine Motel burned to the ground 3 days later. The fire started in room 6. No one saw anyone leave. No bodies. No luggage. Just one thing in the ashes, a cracked bathroom mirror. And written in the soot, 4 words. "You never checked out."